I did warn you that I thought that Bitcoin would touch and test this trend line. And now it's really becoming a critical point for Bitcoin because we did expect to pull back. But at what point do we think that this is a bear market rally that's breaking down? At what point do we decide that it's a bull market? That's what we're going to talk about today, because there is a point where a bear market rally actually becomes a bull market. And where we need to look at and decide whether we're at that point today. So today I'm going to show you all the critical data that will make you realize whether we're in a bull market or whether this bear market rally, we're in a bear market rally, and whether the bear market rally is actually coming to an end. So it's a huge show. Also, we're going to be buying stuff on the show today. We're going to be doing the trading competition together today. So let's have some fun. Big show. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yo, get out of bed, because it's a big day here today. It's actually decision time. We're finally at decision time for Bitcoin, and we're at decision time for crypto. Either this is a bear market relief rally, and if it is a bear market relief rally, it could be over, or it's just a pullback in a bull market. And today we're going to show you data that's going to show you whether we're in a new bull market or in a bear market relief rally. And it's very important that you know this, because your strategy has to change if we are going to start going down. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's going to be huge. It's going to be fun. We're also going to be looking at the best banter person in the competition, in the trading competition. And that, of course, is me. Carl, what's your numbers? Where are you?
I don't actually know.
No.
I haven't taken trades.
You haven't taken trades yet. You know, if you don't trade, you can't win, my friend. And if you look at my numbers, I am 156, but it's not a true reflection because I had too much money in my account. You can see my positions are quite good. Like my Matic position is now 106% in profit in 2 days. My Shiba position 7.73%. My Rune position is 80% in profit, and my Solana short is now 20% in profit. So all my positions are short. The only positions that I messed up were the ones that I followed Sheldon. I don't know why I followed Sheldon. Who knows why I followed Sheldon? Anyway, follow me. We're going to win this competition together. That's for sure. Carl's going to sit on his hands the whole competition. You know, really, the only one that I'm kind of worried about is Miles, because Miles is like, he's smart. He's young and he's smart and he's strategic, and he's going to catch one trade and he's going to catch us out. That's what he's going to do. All right. Carl, you're going to sit on your hands until the end of the trading competition. You're going to sit on your hands and wait for something to happen until the end of the trading competition.
Last day, one trade.
Last day, one trade. Okay, I mean, you guys decide. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the competition inside Banter. We can see what's going on here. We can see that, I mean, listen, we've got some good traders in our community. Some of them are up 342%, 213%, 123%. So I think we're doing quite well as a community. And I think what we're going to do next is we're going to challenge another community to do this. I'm not live trading with you guys because you're live trading, honestly. I did it yesterday. I got stopped out on my Solana position. I got wicked out. You all told me to put a stop loss on my Cardano position. I would have made so much money, but Cardano spiked up and went down. And now I'm out of the money on Cardano. So I'm doing it my way. You guys follow me. That's just the way it's going to work. Well, you guys follow me. It'll be much more fun. All right, let's have some fun today. First of all, if you're new to the channel, welcome. You've joined a channel of absolute degens. So just a friendly warning, but we love it. We are degens. We got to accept who we are. We love risk. We love dopamine. We love adrenaline. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. If you're new, subscribe to the channel you'll be glad to know that 96% of all people that watch the show are subscribed, which makes us the most loyal community on YouTube. And that's not my stat. That's actually YouTube stats. If you are here and you've been here for a while, you know we're just getting over that shadow ban. You guys are helping a lot. Right now, my show is the one that's shadow banned, funny enough. If anything, it should be Sheldon's show, but it's my show that's shadow banned. So just help me by giving me good comments in the feedback. Let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong on the show. I want to make sure I give you guys the best show in the world, because we're on a mission. We're on a mission to make the best content in the world so that you guys become the most profitable community in the world. That's it. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. All right, let's look at, exactly, I'm not a sniper, I'm a bazooka. I just nuke the whole thing.
One shot wonder.
One shot, not one shot wonder. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to make money every single day. Every day, and my positions are going to get better and better. And then until eventually I claw my way up this ranking. Right now, I'm 156. There's no one inside the Banter team that's 156. I bet you Fred's in stables. Fred, are you still in stables, bro?
I took a position yesterday, and? It's put me at number 1,189.
Were you liquidated?
Maybe.
I'm the only guy here that knows what he's doing. Okay, anyway, let's go. Let's start the show. I see there's a lot of people who want to start the show. All right, let's go. Let's look at where we are in Bitcoin. And I said to you guys before that I mentioned we were going to touch and test this trend line. And now you can see we've touched and tested the trend line. And we've actually just broken under that trend line. Now, that's not the greatest sign, because it does mean that we could break this trend. But I'm not going to worry until we get to below 22,600. If we get to below 22,600, we may need to look at another strategy. And we may need to look at a strategy that says, you know what, maybe this was actually a relief rally, and maybe now the relief rally is finished. And that's, if that is the case, we've got to change our strategy. But that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to look at all the data pieces that show us whether this is a relief rally or a beginning of a new bull market. Now, even in a bull market, you're going to get some pullbacks. And if you've been watching the NASDAQ, and I've been speaking about the NASDAQ for a long time, the NASDAQ in the last couple of days, in the last month, so I'm going to take you back a month. I did speak about this yesterday, but there were some people who weren't yesterday. So let's go back a month. The NASDAQ is up it was more, just about 20% in the last month. I see now it's about 14% up in the last month. But it's broken a very important trend. It's broken a downward trend that it's been on ever since the inflation and interest rate narrative started. So remember, in November and December, we started this inflation and interest rate narrative, and the NASDAQ seems to have broken that trend. This whole downward trend, the narrative here was interest rates, inflation, what's Powell going to do, how aggressive is the Fed going to be, when are they going to increase interest rates? And now kind of like we've seen lower inflation numbers, we've seen the Fed increasing interest rates, and remember, the market is forward-looking. And because the market's forward-looking, the market's saying, look, we know about this, and now we're ready to move into a new era. Or are we? Because even though the NASDAQ has broken this trend line over here, the S&P, which is more important, which takes a much broader view of stocks, has hit a double resistance. And it's a big, big, big double resistance. So the first resistance that the S&P hit, as you can see, the S&P kissed the same trend line. The same trend line that we've had since November, the S&P kissed that trend line, and as soon as it did, it started to come down. The second thing that it did is if you take the 200-day moving average. Now, that's quite a key level in terms of momentum. Bang. You see? It just kissed it, and it started to come down. And so that's not why now when we look at this, we say, okay, hold on a second. It's actually decision time. Because if the S&P breaks this trend line, and it doesn't have to break it the first time, it can test it a few times before it breaks it, then we could be getting into a new bull market. But if the S&P doesn't break this trend line, then this is a bear market rally. And if it is a bear market rally, well, then what happens next? If it's a bear market rally, I'll show you just a few things of what other people are saying. So this is a overlay of the two charts, the S&P chart 2007 and 2008, which is the dot-com housing collapse. It touched, kissed, you can see a very, very similar trend, and then it went down to lower lows. You can see that happened in 2007, 2008. So I guess the big question is whether the market whether this market is ready to break out of this trend. And if it does, we can probably say, okay, hold on a second, probably a new bull market is underway. But if it doesn't, shit, then this was a bear market relief rally. And if this was a bear market relief rally, what's going to happen to crypto? That's what we need to look at. One of the big indicators, one of the big things that could give us a clue as to which way this is going to go is interest rates. And if we look at the 10-year interest rate, remember we said there was a head and shoulders pattern that happened on the 10-year interest rate. And if we said that if this breaks down, it's a sign that the market believes that the Fed is finished tightening. But you see that it's kind of now invalidated. I mean, Carl, would you say now that this head and shoulders is, it's invalidated? It's invalidated.
Yeah,
So yeah, that pattern is invalidated. We must delete the head and shoulders pattern now, which kind of says that the market really doesn't know which way interest rates are going to go. In fact, even if you look at the September meeting, okay, you look at the September meeting, I mean, it's 50-50 whether the Fed's going to increase by 50 basis points or by 75 basis points. So that's what's happening now in the market. And it's real decision time. We break this, we're in a new trend. The NASDAQ confirmed it. And if the S&P confirms it, bull market it is. If we don't break this, well, then maybe this was a relief rally. And if it was a relief rally, hold on a second. Let's look at what relief rallies can actually do. So this is, again, a fractal of S&P 2008. And you can see looks very similar, touched similar levels, and then they went down to new lows. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go down to new lows. I'm just saying if this is a bear market rally, this is what's going to happen. So I looked at some data from Urian Timmer. Remember, he's from Fidelity. He's the head of macro for Fidelity. And he has some really compelling data. So let's look at the data first, and then we'll make a decision. But more importantly, once we make that decision, we've got to decide what that actually means for crypto. And I'm actually going to show you what the implications are for crypto. So he says, if the recent spike is only a bear market rally, a temporary surge, and not the start of a new bull market, it's not unusual. This shows all the bear market rallies since the 1920s. And you can look at them and you can kind of see that they all pretty much have the same shape, right? He says, so that's the first tweet that he started with. Then he went on to another tweet and he said, could the recent stock market rally be merely a blip in a deeper bear market? He says the GFC .com bust, 1973 bear market, and other significant down cycles all produced sharp rallies like the one we're in now, and all of them actually led to new lows. So what he's saying is that naturally markets go up, go down, and then they have some kind of relief rally. And what we're looking for is we're looking to see if the market can make higher highs. So that's where Urian's thinking. Then he says, it's hard to spot the difference between a bull market and a bear market rally. Market history gives us a few clues. Take breadth, for instance. On the surface, the recent thrust to 88% of where we were seems in line with a new bull market. But it's also consistent with bear market rallies. In its recent rally, the S&P retraced 50% of its losses from earlier in the year. So in other words, we bounced up 50%. Is that a sign that this is more than a bear market rally? Well, now we're getting somewhere because we went 53%. The chart above shows the retracement of each bear market rally vis-a-vis the previous declines. Here we see that that during past bear market rallies, the retracement never went much above 50%, except for once, which was post-World War II. And then you could ask yourself a question, well, is this a similar scenario to the post-World War II era? Let's look at what else the data is telling us. The data is telling us that everybody is short and that hedge funds were caught short and that this rally could have been hedge funds covering their shorts. It was the biggest short covering since, in line with 2021 COVID short covering, and then again 2014, 2015. The data also shows us, though, that there's more cash sitting on the side than any other rally. And when cash sits on the side, well, you got to say to yourself, people are very scared to put money in the market, but that means that there's a lot of dry powder. So when the market drops, it's there to actually start buying the dry powder, the lows. This tweet here says also short-term overbought, but more than 90% of stocks are above their 50-day moving average, which means that they've broken trend. And if they've broken trend, well, if the trend continues, what happens? And that's what I want to show you. So if the trend continues and we continue to go up, so it says over 90% of S&P 500 members closed above their 50-day moving average last week. That's a sign that the trend is up. Context matters. The signal only occurred after a larger than 20% drawdown. What happened the last time that this happened after a larger than 20% drawdown? Well, in the year post that, markets went up, and markets actually went up pretty aggressively. So see, so markets went up and markets actually went up pretty aggressively. So that's another piece of data that you want to be looking at. You've got high cash, you've got shorts that have been squeezed, you've got stocks being bought over the 50-day moving average, which is a great trend line, but you've also got managers betting short against the Russell, which could create another short squeeze on the smaller indices. So that's kind of where we are. And what I'm cautioning you guys against is listening to people on Twitter and listening to the noise. And I'll tell you why, because markets have usually priced in the noise. Let me show you what I mean. So I saw this tweet today from Alex Becker, and he may be right. He says, China is about to go through a meltdown. European countries are stockpiling wood to heat their homes. US credit is out of control. People making $100,000 a year can't buy homes and are shopping at Walmart. Housing market is crashing. But bro, bullish as fuck. Let's go long. Well, not really, because all of this data, the market actually knows. And the market is very smart, and the market is forward-looking. And the market knows everything that's in the market. So I think the big question is, the big thing we have to watch now is we have to watch the charts and see what the charts tell us. I am and I have been expecting a pullback in the NASDAQ. I told you that. I said that the NASDAQ ran up too much. I told you that I think when the NASDAQ goes down, I think that Bitcoin and crypto will follow, and especially altcoins. And that's why I took a majority short positions on my BYBIT portfolio, because I think that that's what's going to happen. But I remain bullish in the long term. And I'm watching the charts. I'm specifically watching this chart over here. If this chart breaks, it's going to give me another confirmation. I'm watching this chart, but at the same time, I'm watching the Bitcoin chart. And I'm saying, look, we'll probably break this trend line as I predicted, but then I've got to look at this level over here. And I've got to say, look, 22,600, if we break that level and we reject over here, then I've kind of maybe got to reevaluate where I am. So right now we're in the hands of macro. We're in the hands of macro, and we're in the hands of specifically this S&P chart that I showed you. We'll watch the S&P chart together, and we'll decide together how we should play the strategy. All right, so if the market continues to go down, what happens to crypto? What happens to crypto? We know what's going to happen to the stock market. Stock markets will go down. But what happens to crypto? So I saw a very interesting chart, and that chart was this chart over here. And this chart over here shows the drawdown of where every market is relative to where the top was. So if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is 65% off its highs. But if you look at the Dow Jones is 7.59% of its highs. The S&P is 10.67% of its highs, and the NASDAQ is 20% of its highs. So what you can see is that crypto has been hit much harder than the stock markets, which for the most part we can expect, because crypto is a risky asset. It's at the end of the liquidity schedule. And when there's extra liquidity, we can see crypto going up a lot because it's the most illiquid asset class. But when there's no liquidity, when the Fed is taking money out of the economy, well, then we're going to see crypto drop much quicker than every other asset class. We know that. But this looks a little bit too oversold for me. When you compare the NASDAQ, which is down 20%, to Bitcoin, which is down 65%, and altcoins, which are probably down 80%, then I say, hold on a second. Maybe this was a function of all the mass liquidations, and maybe crypto got hit too hard. And maybe if that is the case, crypto won't get hit as hard again. That's why I keep saying that I'm not expecting Bitcoin to break the lows unless we get a black swan event. And I've said that one of the black swan events that could happen was a failed ETH merge. If we get a failed ETH merge, well, then all bets are off. Crypto breaks that 17,000 level. But if not, I can't really see it happening. We're seeing amazing signs in crypto, which we haven't seen before. As I showed you guys yesterday, we've got 1 billion Bitcoin addresses. Now, it doesn't mean that there are 1 billion people in crypto. It means we've got 1 billion addresses in crypto. And they're forecasting that there will be 1 billion people in crypto by 2025 if crypto keeps up this adoption. We're also seeing something else. We're seeing 0.3% of the wealth that is held in institutions, 0.3% of wealth is held in crypto compared to 25% for stocks. So we've really just started, and the big boys are starting to actually place a whole lot of bets in crypto. So I got this chart. It came off Miles Deutscher's Twitter. By the way, Miles is making unbelievable content now. He's making really deep content. Yesterday, he made a show about the new DogeChain, which we'll talk about in a couple of seconds. But he's doing these real deep dives. If you're not watching Miles' show, you got to watch his shows. He's doing these amazing deep dives. Anyway, let's get back to it. So what we can see here is that the biggest companies in the world, the Web 2 companies, are starting to invest aggressively in Web 3. So Alphabet, which is Google's parent company, has spent $1.5 billion that we know of in blockchain startups. Now, let's look at what they are investing in. They're investing in Fireblocks. What is Fireblocks? Fireblocks is a custodian. Why would they be investing in a custodian? Because they know that people are going to have to custody their crypto somewhere. They're investing in Dapper Labs. Dapper Labs, NFTs, Metaverse. They're investing in Digital Currency Group, which gives them a broad view of the industry. Then you got BlackRock. And what you can see is that BlackRock is investing in institutional infrastructure. They invested in Circle because they want to control the digital dollar, the USDC. They invested in FTX because they know that trading is where it's at. And yesterday, FTX announced that they're launching options soon. And they invested also in a custodian called Anchorage. And you can take a look at this chart and you can kind of see the narratives that the big companies are putting their money into. So if you look at Tencent, you'll realize that Tencent actually invested very much in metaverse companies. So in Immutable X, which is gaming and metaverse, in Eternity Labs, which is gaming and metaverse. And you can kind of get a feel for where the big players in Web 2 are starting to put their money. And as I said, we're early. Because remember I showed you this yesterday. And I showed you how the active addresses, the people with less than 1 Bitcoin, let me just quickly log in. People with less than 1 Bitcoin are starting to grow exponentially despite the decrease in price. And that's the first time that we've seen that. People aren't coming here to get rich quick. They actually starting to adopt this technology for what it is. And you can't bet against the big boys. The big boys know what they're doing. And what they're doing is they're investing in narratives. And that's why I said to you before, I said, look, while fear and greed is here, and when I say here, fear and greed is at 41. It was at 45 when we spoke about this. And I said, look, while fear and greed is here, we need to make a plan. We need to have a crypto plan. Don't wait until extreme fear, because then you're gonna act irrationally, and don't act when there's greed, because then you're gonna act irrationally and you're gonna FOMO into things. You got a couple more days to make that plan and decide what narratives you want to invest in. And remember, when I came back from Korea, I said to you, hold on, I've seen something. I've seen the other side. I've seen what Asia, which is the hub of adoption and the hub of blockchain investment, and I've seen what they're investing in. And I realized that the big narratives are metaverse and decentralized exchanges, decentralized options, and decentralized derivatives. 80% of what I saw was metaverse, NFTs, and gaming. And 75% or 75% of what I saw was that, and 25% was options exchanges, derivatives exchanges, decentralized derivatives exchanges, and stuff like that. That's what I saw. And you can see that actually in the data. So let's look at the data. If you look at this chart over here, you will see that Solana funding has flipped from DeFi apps to gaming and NFTs over the last year. Look at that. So look at the red and you can see where gaming and NFTs are. You see? That's where people are saying going down hard. What's hard? Let's see what's going on here. Are you guys watching the 2-minute chart again? Is that what's going on here? Let's just have a look here. I'm still 151. I'm doing good. A lot of people are copying my positions now. That's another problem. So, as I was saying, Solana, what you can see is that the narrative here has shifted to gaming and metaverse, which what I kept saying to you guys. I kept saying to you guys, you got to get exposure to gaming and metaverse. How do you do it? I said to you, Solana is a good place. I said to you, Polygon. It looks like Polygon, Matic is becoming the hub for gaming and for metaverse, and also now the hub for meme coins. So we saw this. I came back and I said to you, look, Polygon. If you get a dip, we're buying Polygon. Why are we buying Polygon? Because all the gaming is built on Polygon. And now the new DogeChain, which is a EVM compatible smart contract chain, I think it's EVM compatible, it's a smart contract chain, is actually built on Polygon. And remember what this actually is, it's a smart contract blockchain where you can use your Dogecoin to pay the fees. And so it appeals to this whole meme market. Where did they build it? They built it on Polygon. So if you don't want exposure to memes, but you want to get exposure to this whole thing, just put your money into Polygon, because you're getting gaming, you're getting ETH layer 2, you're getting ZK, and you're getting it all into Polygon. I wouldn't be buying it right now. In fact, you can see I'm pretty short right now because I think the whole market's going to come down. But this is one that's definitely on my list. And that's what you should be doing. You should be making a plan today, what to buy. And if you want, you can actually put prices. I'm not really putting prices. I'm just saying, look, if the market dips, if I start seeing fear, if I start seeing panic, then I know exactly what I'm going to buy. And I'm not waiting for fear and panic to actually make my plan. I mean, did you see these moves in the DogeChain applications? 2,718% in 24 hours, 6,926%. 5,791%, 999% in 24 hours, 75,000%. This is crazy. I'm not telling you to play these. I'm just saying we are back at the place where meme coins are pumping. And I wanted to show you this tweet. It's actually quite a funny tweet. Gotta find it. Hold on a second. Oh, here it is. Oh, no, I don't have it here. Ah, damn. Such a good tweet. Cool. That's so again, have your plan. Make sure you're not making your plan when you're emotional. Start investing in the narrative. You've seen what the big boys are investing in. I've told you what the Asians are investing in. Now it's time for you to make your plan and your list. I've showed you mine. I'll post mine again later on today. Let's see what else is happening. Oh, this is a big story. So UK inflation has hit 10.1%. So it's higher than inflation in the United States. Worse than that, Citibank says that it could be going to 15% in Q1 of 2023. Can you imagine 15% inflation? I want to show you what inflation means, because I think a lot of you don't really understand what high inflation means. We live in Africa, so we've seen this all before. But I want to show you what inflation means. So this is actual gas utility bill. Okay, so in July 2021, the gas utility bill was 120,000 euros. In July 2022, the same gas utility bill was 979,000 euros. Okay, that's what happened when gas prices go up. Now imagine you're running a business and all of a sudden your gas price is 10x and everything becomes much more expensive. It's almost impossible to build a business. And now we're seeing something quite scary in Germany. This is electricity prices in Germany for 2023, because you buy electricity going forward. They're going exponential because of this war. So I think that Europe is going to be dealing with very, very, very high inflation. They're going to start increasing interest rates. I think the US started, but I think Europe's going to follow. That's for sure. Scary stuff. Inflation is very, very, very scary. Super, super scary. What else? There is Celsius. They were in court yesterday. And they're talking about the bankruptcy proceedings and how to restructure. Well, the judge actually granted them a blessing to sell Bitcoin that they mine. And I guess he did that, or she did that, to, I don't know if it was a boy or girl, Martin Glenn. They did that so that they could pay their expenses and stuff like that. So they can sell Bitcoin that they mine, which is quite crazy. Also, as I mentioned earlier, FTX are going to be launching options. For me, the more exciting thing than FTX launching options is decentralized options exchanges. Things like DopeX, for example. That for me is something that's much more exciting. Another thing which is super exciting for me is decentralized derivatives exchanges. So derivatives exchanges that are decentralized. And there's a great one that's launching on Solana very soon. We'll give you more information about it pretty soon. But there's one launching which I saw the interface, and the interface is absolutely unbelievable. You've got to be looking at these narratives. If you're not looking at the narratives, you don't know where to put your money, and that's a big problem. Show you another narrative that a lot of people aren't really seeing. That's this narrative over here. So just think about this. Uniswap, which is the most widely used DeFi app, has 30,000 active daily users, okay? Coinbase has 103 million verified users. Look at the disconnect. Where would you put your money now? Coinbase or Uniswap? Obviously, the better bet is to go to Uniswap because it has so much to gain. You've got to keep your eyes open for narratives. Why is everyone panicking, Carl?
They say it's dumping.
It's dumping. It is dumping. But we said it would flirt. We said that would happen. Okay, I'm getting better. I'm ranking higher in the competition. See? Every time it dumps, I go up. 144. Yeah. I want to show you one more thing today. Very, very important. I'm not telling you to buy something, but I do want to highlight or bring your attention to a token. And full disclosure, before we discuss this token, because we are being very sensitive to talking about things that we're invested in, you need to know that we're invested in this token in the IDO, and we have not sold a single token. We have not sold a single token. And the token that I want to talk to you guys about is Kujira. And there's a very good reason why I want to talk to you about this token. So let's look at the history of Kujira. And I'm not chilling you to buy it. I just want to show you something. So Kujira launched on the Luna chain. And what it did was it launched specifically with an engine in mind called Orca, which helped you buy cheap liquidated tokens. So it kind of made everybody into a whale, right? So they had this system where instead of whales and bots buying up liquidations, they allowed the man in the street, you and I, to be able to become whales using their system and to buy cheaper liquidated tokens before the whales got them, right? Anyway, they built this protocol on Luna. We all know what happened to Luna, and most projects that went to Luna actually went to zero. And in fact, if you look at where Kujira went to 0.0045, so half a cent. It went to half a cent. And most projects on Luna died or are dying or basically are lying in a coma and don't actually have a heartbeat, but nothing else. But not this one. This one is trading at $1.61, which is pretty close to, I think, the highest that it's ever been. I mean, it did spike to $4, but after that, it's pretty much close to the highest that it's ever been. And so I wanted to talk about this project because, I keep saying to you guys that when you're backing a team, you know that things are going to go wrong along the way. But the question is, what did the team do and how did the team recover? And so in this case, when Luna collapsed, what did Kujira do? Well, they didn't rebuild on Luna 2.0. What they did was they said, okay, well, we're leaving and we're going to build on Cosmos. We're going to build our own blockchain, our very own blockchain on Cosmos. And we're going to build this blockchain and build a whole lot of tooling on Cosmos. And that's exactly what they did. They built an ecosystem, a Cosmos layer 1 platform for community selected projects creating true value, which means that it's a semi-permissioned blockchain. What they mean by semi-permissioned is in order to launch a contract, the network actually has to vote for you to actually launch that contract. So it's actually managed by the community. But the more important thing is that they've already got 3 killer applications on this platform. The first application that they've got is they've got the Kujira engine, the Orca engine, which allows you to buy liquidated tokens for very, very cheap. That's the first thing that they got. The second thing that they've got is they've got a very fast, decentralized order book, which looks like a centralized exchange. So you can see that over here, and that works right now. And it works on all the apps on Cosmos, okay? So all the apps which use Cosmos, and a lot of apps today use Cosmos. Remember, Luna used Cosmos, BSC Smart Chain is built on Cosmos. It is the most interoperable piece of software. The last thing that they built, is a dashboard, and the dashboard allows you to stake, to vote, etc., etc. But then last week they came out with an announcement. And they came out with an announcement which I think is quite revolutionary and quite necessary given what happened to Tornado Cash. You'll remember when Tornado Cash was sanctioned, the first thing that happened was USDC, which is a centralized company, started to blacklist addresses. And it once again showed us how bad centralized money is. Because centralized money is just an extension of the government. And we saw that with Tornado Cash. The minute that the sanctions were done, Tornado Cash's website was unhosted, stopped being hosted. The GitHub accounts, anyone who contributed, their GitHub account was deleted. You can't interact with it anymore. Any address that has Tornado Cash in it, all of a sudden, is blocked from interacting with it anyway. And so what we've seen the dangers of centralization. What these guys came out with last month is they said, look, we're launching a new stablecoin, and this stablecoin is called USK. USK is a stablecoin which is over-collateralized using the Atom token. So you've got to, I don't know what the collateralization ratios are, but you'd have to say give $2 worth of Atom token to get $1 worth of this USK. And then they plugged in their order book and their liquidation engine. So in other words, when your collateral ratio collapses, the Orca engine allows people to pick up tokens cheaper and avoids whales, big whales taking advantage of you. So why am I telling you this? Well, one, because I think that we need to congratulate blockchain builders who've been through hell and back and managed to come back and stand up stronger than ever before. That's a team that I want to back. And to be honest, as I said, we bought in the ICO, when in the IDO, before the IDO, we invested, and we haven't sold a single token. And to be honest, we don't intend to. In fact, if anything, I intend to buy more. Second reason why I'm telling you this is because I looked at valuation, and this is where it gets super interesting. If you look at the total market cap of the project, the fully diluted market cap is $200 million. Okay, $200 million is the fully diluted market cap of this project. Now, you compare it to other projects that are being built on Kujira, not Kujira, on Cosmos. So I took Osmosis, which is a DEX, so to speak, a DEX chain. Their fully diluted valuation is 1.17 billion. Okay, I took another one, which was Juno. Okay, look at the fully diluted valuations, $1 billion. And then you look at Kujira, which is kind of building the same thing, and you can see that they're very smart people, and the market cap's about $120 million. So I'm not telling you to buy it, because the token has had an amazing run. You've seen it. The token continues to go up every single day. But I am saying that you've got to have your eyes on this project, because when you've got a team that is resilient as all hell, that can bounce up from the dead and build something so amazing, and still sitting at about 120, 130, $140 million market cap, to me, that's something that you want to be watching. That's just my view. That's just my view. Not telling you to buy it. We're big holders. We continue to hold. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much us. What else is there today? Oh, what else? So yeah, let's quickly go look at the BYBIT competition and just see if we should make any moves to the portfolio. So it looks like my thesis that we are going down has played. My Matic position's up 120.75. My Rune position's up 100%. Solana position's up 30%. Now, our question is whether we should add more shorts, whether we should do anything. So I'm going to look at the NASDAQ quickly. Let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ down 116. So it's not crashing. It's probably just retesting this trend line. What do you guys think? Should we go more short? Should we close some of the shorts in that competition? What do you think? Let me know. Let's do something together. People here are asking, how can we buy Kujira? Let's actually look at where. I'm not telling you to buy it, guys, because it has had a very big run, and to be honest, we got ours a lot cheaper. You can buy it on Kujira, so it becomes very cool. People are saying close the shorts. You know what? I'm not going to close the shorts, because my thesis is that this NASDAQ has to pull back a little bit. I'm not happy with this pullback. I don't think that this is enough of a pullback for me. I think that we're going to get a real pullback. Like, I think the NASDAQ's going to go under 13,000. And that's really when the shorts will start printing. I think. Yeah. I'm ranked 143, 15.28%. Is there anything else to short? Well, let's quickly look and see if there's anything else on the charts that looks like it hasn't moved down enough. I'm not going to short Cardano. I think it's moved too much. Potentially Dogecoin, but I mean, they've just launched the DogeChain, so I think there might still be a little bit of hype around that DogeChain. I'm not sure I'd be shorting it just yet. Matic, probably 10 cents left in Matic, but I'm not going to go for that. ETH Classic, would I short ETH Classic before the merge? I think too risky before the merge. Let me know what you guys would be doing. Let me know what you guys would be doing. Listen, as I said before, love you guys madly. You guys are the best community in the world. It's a privilege to bring you this amazing content every single day and to hopefully make you guys the most profitable community in the world. That's our mission. If you want to join us just for fun in the BYBIT competition, I see that there are already 2,100 people. Just click on there's a link below the video. Just click on the link below. It'll enter. You've got to enter with the Crypto Banter referral link. By the way, we launch the Discord tomorrow. Discord's free to anyone. Anyone can join the Discord. But there are certain VIP zones sponsored zones where you have to have an exchange link to actually enter those zones. So that will be active tomorrow. Remember also that we terminated our relationship with CoinPanel. I think we've been quite vocal about it. I'm not going to discuss the reasons why we did, because I think in time, in a court, they will be resolved. We think we've been treated unfairly. But anyway, we thought it would be a great opportunity to take our community and to actually give them everything that some people were paying for. They were paying $30 a month to actually be able to give it them for free in the Discord group. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to give you free live information in the Discord group, open to anyone in the community. That's it. And it launches tomorrow. Can't wait. It's going to be super fun. Let's see. Is there anything else? Roy Buzz says, top show run. Thanks. Respect, bro. Respect to you guys. Thanks for coming every single day. Great choice on Discord. Love it. I think we overdue a Discord, and I think now we're going to do it. Someone says Cardano is still on trend, not dropped below the trend yet. Really? So let's have a look here. Which trend are they looking at? IDA, USDT. Let's have a look here. Let's look at a smaller time frame. That looks like it's broken. No, you can see it's broken through the trend. I'm not even a chartist, and I can show you this on the trend. It's broken through the trend. Look at that.
You can't see.
Oh, you can't see. There we go. I mean, I drew that quickly, but you can kind of see that it has broken down below the trend. All right, so tomorrow, stuff on the Discord. I love you guys madly. Remember, help us get what's it called? Unshadow banned by just giving us a good comment below and tell us what we could do better. See you guys again tomorrow. Until then, have fun and trade well, my friends. People saying accept the bet with Sheldon. I should have accepted it. It's got no chance. I'm going to teach him a lesson, Sheldon. I'm going to teach you a lesson too, Kyle.